Stop it!
You were waiting for me.
Hey V, maybe.
If a young man desired a woman, he would never tell her. He would not approach her. He would not whisper promises. He would not ask her feelings. So how was courtship actually lived in the time of Jesus, long before dating, romance, and personal choice shaped relationships as we know them today? What did it mean? To hope for a future you could not control. To be drawn toward someone you were not allowed to pursue. To wait while others spoke for you. For centuries, we have imagined love stories beginning with attraction and choice. But the Jewish world of the first century moved differently. Courtship was not driven by emotion. It was governed by survival, by honor, and by obedience to God. Stay until the end. Because understanding this forgotten world changes how we read the Gospels, and quietly challenges how we understand love itself. 2,000 years ago, courtship did not begin with two people. It began with observation. A young man's life was watched, long before marriage was ever mentioned. From adolescence onward, his conduct spoke for him. How he worked the land. How faithfully he showed up. How he handled money. How he treated elders.
Let me help you.
Whether his word could be trusted. Nothing was private. Villages were small. Memories were long. Reputation was formed slowly. And once formed, it followed a man everywhere. For a young woman, courtship unfolded within an even narrower space. Her world centered on her father's house. She was trained daily by mothers, aunts, and older women in skill, restraint, and self-control. Her future depended on something fragile. Her reputation. How she behaved at the well. How she spoke. How she listened. How she carried herself in public. Silence was not weakness. It was protection. In an honor-shame culture, one careless rumor could destroy a future. This detail is often overlooked. There were no private meetings. No secret conversations. No emotional exploration. A man expressing interest directly would risk public shame. For himself. And for her. Instead, interest traveled quietly. Through families. Fathers spoke to fathers. Elders exchanged careful assessments. Questions were asked slowly, deliberately. Does this man work steadily? Is his family respected? Can he provide? Does he fear God? Courtship moved through trusted voices. Not romantic gestures. This changes how we read the Bible. Parents were not acting as tyrants. They were guardians. In a world marked by disease, hunger, and political instability, marriage was not emotional experimentation. It was a life decision. A careless match could ruin generations. A wise one could secure them. That is why courtship was slow, measured, and serious. Most young men and women barely knew each other personally at this stage. They may have seen one another during festivals or daily village life. From a distance. Perhaps a glance. Perhaps recognition. Nothing more. Emotional restraint was considered honorable. Not cold. Love was expected to grow later. After commitment. Feelings were not trusted as guides. Character was. This restraint created tension. Hope. Mixed with uncertainty. A young woman often knew conversations were happening about her future. Without being present. A young man knew his worth was being weighed. Without knowing the outcome. Waiting was part of courtship. Waiting shaped discipline. Before courtship could move forward, readiness had to be proven. A man needed to show he could support a household. Not wealth, but stability. A trade. Consistency. Responsibility. Courtship could stall for years. While a man worked, saved, and proved himself. Intentions were meaningless without evidence. Words were never enough. Once families reached agreement, A visible step followed. The bride price. The moher. This was not romantic. It was costly. It represented responsibility made public. Sacrifice made visible. The payment acknowledged years of care invested by the bride's family, and created future protection for the woman. Courtship demanded cost before promise. From this moment on, the young woman was no longer considered available. Though she still lived in her father's house, her future was now bound. This was betrothal. Not engagement as we imagine it, but a legal bond. Faithfulness was already required. Breaking it required divorce. This explains something many readers miss. When Mary is found pregnant during betrothal, Joseph's shock is not mild confusion. It is devastation. Within that culture, betrothal already carried the weight of marriage. Courtship had reached its most serious threshold. Understanding this restores the gravity of the gospel story. During this period, the bride entered a long season of waiting. No date was set. No announcement made. She knew the groom would come, but not when. This uncertainty shaped everything. Lamps kept ready. Garments prepared. Attention constant. Sleep was lighter. Awareness sharper. The entire community watched. Any carelessness could invite suspicion. Fidelity had to be demonstrated. In absence, courtship tested endurance. More than emotion. Jesus drew directly from this reality. When he spoke of bridesmaids waiting with lamps, he was not inventing poetry. He was describing lived tension. Readiness. Perseverance. Faithfulness without certainty. Courtship in the time of Jesus was quiet, public, and heavy with responsibility. It demanded patience, obedience, and trust in God's timing. And here is the deeper truth. God chose this system, not romance, to bring his Son into the world. Not impulse, but covenant. Courtship trained hearts to trust beyond feeling. Understanding this does not distance Scripture. It sharpens it. It asks us whether we value readiness over rush, faithfulness over emotion, obedience over desire. If this journey into ancient courtship changed how you read the Gospels, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What surprised you most?